And I give the floor to the representative of Greece.
Thank you, Madam President. I would like to start by thanking the Minister for Foreign Affairs of Finland, Ms. Elina Valtonen, Chairperson-in-Office of the Organization for Security and Cooperation in Europe, for her briefing. Since the OSCE Ministerial Conference took place only a few days ago, I would like to start by commending Finland for the OSCE chairpersonship under these challenging circumstances. The guiding principles under the motto Respect, Respond, Prepare, which were placed by the Chair in Office at the center of its efforts to reinvigorate OSCE's work, pave the way to structure a dialogue on the future of the organization. Greece believes in the OSCE's unique identity and role based on the Helsinki principles. Through its comparative advantages, in particular its comprehensive approach to security, its structures, its autonomous institutions, such as the Office for Democratic Institutions and Human Rights, ODIHR, which works across the OSCE region to strengthen security by protecting and promoting democracy and human rights, as well as its field operations, the OSCE remains well placed in the multilateral system and in the context of international efforts aiming at achieving genuine, sustainable security. Greece recognizes the important contribution of regional intergovernmental organizations for the maintenance of international peace and security in the framework of Chapter 8 of the UN Charter. As one of the original signatories of the Helsinki Final Act and an active OSCE member since 1973, Greece strongly supports the enduring partnership between the OSCE and the Security Council based on the 1993 framework of cooperation and coordination. The OSCE continues to deliver important outcomes for European security through reducing risks, promoting transparency, building confidence, and functioning as a platform for dialogue on security in the region. Allow me to focus on the role of OSCE into addressing the most important conflict in its region, namely the war of aggression of Russia against Ukraine, as well as to the results of the partnership between the OSCE and the Security Council in addressing other regional conflicts in Europe. Greece welcomes OSCE's support for Ukraine and commends Finland's chairmanship for its choice to continue prioritizing Ukraine and monitoring close the war on its ground. Moreover, we commend an uninterrupted OSCE engagement with Ukraine through its support program for Ukraine, which was launched to address immediate challenges to civilians posed by the war and to support long-term democratic and social resilience of Ukraine's institutions and civil society. In this regard, let me echo all of those calling for the immediate release of the 3 OSCE staff members who remain illegally detained by the Russian authorities. Greece also welcomes the OSCE's role towards addressing protracted conflicts in the region. The August 8th agreements reached between Armenia and Azerbaijan in Washington, D.C., including their joint decision regarding the conclusion of the OSCE Minsk Group's mandate, represent a significant and welcome first step toward lasting peace and stability in the region. These developments demonstrate that both sides are prepared to move forward and address the legacy of conflict. As these processes advance, the OSCE remains well placed to contribute through its experience in dialogue facilitation, confidence building, and support for cooperative security. It is now essential to maintain momentum. The initial peace agreement must be signed without delay. All remaining outstanding issues must be resolved in accordance with international law, including the principles of sovereignty and territorial integrity. We support the work of OSCE field missions in Central Asia and the Western Balkans, as well as its facilitating role for a peaceful settlement of the conflicts in Moldova and Georgia. Coming to our immediate neighborhood, the Western Balkans, we commend the critical role of the OSCE mission in Kosovo under the mandate of Resolution 1244 towards the promotion of human rights and enhancing interethnic dialogue. To conclude, Madam President, in its capacity as both an OSCE member and an elected member of this Council, Greece stands ready to work further to enhance the partnership between the OSCE and the Security Council within the framework of Chapter 8 of the UN Charter. I thank you.
I thank the representative of Greece